is Way Up with Angela Yee, and I'm here with my Wealth Wednesdays co-host, Stacey Tisdale.
Welcome to Way Up Wealth Wednesdays on the first day of Women's History Month.
Woo, woo. And it's very fitting that we have Miss Skittlez here with us.
Yes, I'm super excited. We're about to go way up on this episode.
All right, well, perfect. Well, let's get into a little bit of your background because I know you from the bakery.
Yes.
Right? So before we go into the background, what is the bakery?
The bakery is the largest co-working space for female entrepreneurs, and it's a multi-use space. So we have a photography studio and an event space, which most co-working spaces don't have. And it's right in the heart of Atlanta.
Yes.
My goal is to open up our next location in Houston this year, so I'm excited about it.
And that's great because there's so many creatives now and people doing content. And where can they make that content? How did you even come up with that concept?
Honestly, it's such a long story, but I started in retail, got fired from my company after partnering with investors, went to China, opened up a factory, all of these things, started a marketing agency. That marketing agency scaled. And that is when I started to realize, like, entrepreneurship for female entrepreneurs is lonely. You don't feel like you have a community. You don't feel like there's people that understand what you're going through. So I started a digital community called Girl Mob. And then we were using all of these peer space locations to meet up with people. And I was spending all of this money. And so when it went into me finding a new office, I said, I want to make it big enough for women all over the world. And then I joined a co-working space. I didn't feel welcomed in that space. So my goal is to open a co-working space for female entrepreneurs to feel welcome in no matter what you are, what religion, what race, how you feel about yourself. If you're a new entrepreneur, if you're a multimillionaire, if you're a content creator. So that's what I created.
But you're doing so much more than that with it. You're doing weekly conversations. You're making it a real community.
Yes, ultimately the best community. And hearing stories of women that started in corporate America and then now have left the job that they didn't like and starting their own business, and then just really being able to find their people in their place.
Now, let's talk about your background because you do come from a family of entrepreneurs as well.
Yes.
And sometimes, I know I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs. That was something that I developed later. So did you always know from when you were young, start a business?
So I wouldn't say it was starting a business. I just knew that my creative gifts could make me money. When I was 8 years old, I was literally cutting up socks and clothes and making Barbie clothes. I literally have a picture. It said Designs by Mary, but I didn't know that was entrepreneurship. And I think that's one thing that I'm super passionate about is now we as mothers or parents, we have to see the gifts in our children young and start to monetize off of those gifts before the world chooses to monetize off of those gifts. So for me, like with my daughter, she has a business. Hopefully it'll be in Target by August. We are negotiating right now.
Wow.
But I didn't know when I was doing these little side hustles. I mean, I come from the music industry. I was the first girl on Scream Tour. This is 2000, I don't know, 1 or something like that. But yeah, I didn't know entrepreneurship was a thing. I just thought, I'm hustling to get out of the hood.
You didn't have a title for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so being an artist, that's already kind of being a hustler.
Yes, absolutely. I went from an artist to a stylist to a marketing manager to a product placement manager. I'm literally one of the reasons why Nuvo Vodka. Do you remember Nuvo Vodka?
I remember. There was a pink.
Yeah. Do you remember
I
buying me a
Nuvo.
drink? I was 19 years old putting this collaboration together. So
How do you go from that? And I know there's a story in there how you created a retail business. You got fired from your own business.
Yes.
And then you bought it back. Total badass move.
Thank
and then
you.
you've gone on to create a $15 million consulting business.
Yes.
What's your secret sauce?
I think the secret sauce is all in one, your belief in God and knowing that God has got you here and you're good, right? He already has a plan for you. And the second secret recipe for me is understanding the pivot. I've always been a person to understand that when that wave is about to end, jump to something else. I've seen so many artists, so many creatives, die in the wave of, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to stay on MySpace. It's no, you better get up here and get on Facebook, or you better start this, or, you better get remember there were, we had to watch very long videos or post pictures, and now it's real. So I think it's the pivot and understanding that you have to evolve. My favorite quote is evolve or dissolve.
Right. And it's also sometimes difficult to know when you should keep on going or when it's time to say, this isn't working, let me evolve.
Yes.
Because you also don't want to give up too early.
Yes. And I've been in that place. So what I typically do, my mindset behind that is like, go with it as long as you can go with it, and then to make that money to put it into whatever you believe is the next wave. So that's what I did. Like, think of Cupcake Mafia. I built it to a $4 million company. I got fired from my company. I slept on an airbed for 6 months. I started a marketing agency where literally corporate companies from all over were seeking me out to build up their clothing business, essentially. And I made that, in 4 years, I built that to a $16 million business. And I took money out of that to now put into the bakery. So I've always bootstrapped and funded my own. I've never took out a loan. I don't have any investors. I did it all on my own. But what I did was I rode the wave until I seen that wave dying, started saving to invest in the next wave.
And I believe even when things don't happen the way that you want them to, there's a lesson in that. And I want to talk about you actually losing your company because you built this company, you had investors, and then they fired you from your own company that you built. Can you tell us about that and what you learned?
Yes. So, one, I think that we have to understand like burnout. I think entrepreneurs just go, and we're like, building this huge building without bringing people around that can help us or even that are smarter than us. Like for me, I was the smartest person on my team. So I felt like, oh my God, I can't run this by myself.
Right.
Forever 21 came to me and wanted Cupcake Mafia to be in their stores. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to ship that much product. I knew I wasn't going to be able, I didn't have the knowledge to get into those many retailers. So then I went with partners. I get into New York. I literally give up my condo in Atlanta. I moved to New York, and within 6 months, we are having constant disputes of them feeling like, this brand should be growing quicker, and we want to fire all these people, and we want to do this, and like for me, it was just like my integrity. So I like put my foot down, and I was like, hey, like I'm not going to back down. Like I know that you are looking at me as a minority owner, and all of these other things, and you've fired everyone else that has brought a brand to you, but I'm not going to back down. And I literally got fired from my company. But what it taught me is that like sometimes God will move people out of your way. Like I think I wouldn't have had the marketing agency, the success, the bakery, the owning a factory in China, being there 20 times a year. Like I wouldn't have had this. I wouldn't have had the community of showing other female entrepreneurs that they can do it, without going through that.
And you always, when we were talking, you said that social media, and I know you help females create their brands and everything. It's collapsed decades into days.
Yes.
And really interesting point you made is that there's a lot less secrecy in our community, and that's helping us build community.
Absolutely. I think that we come from a day and age, especially for me, when I started in 2011, I could not find a mentor. I could not find a girl that had already been in the clothing business that will tell me, hey, this is how you go to Magic. This is how you don't go through this. This is how you get through this and scale your business. I literally had to find male mentors, and they weren't even the same race as me. Like, I felt like brown people in that day like gatekeep. They were like, oh no, like I made it this far, and if I tell you, you're gonna prevent me from my next level. And like nowadays with all the internet, it is so much information out there. It's so much coaching groups. It's so many communities. It's like I know if you come to one day at the bakery, your life will change, because the women that I'm bringing there every single Wednesday to teach on Women Win Wednesday, I do not allow them to gatekeep. You're going to tell me who you hired, how much it costs, give me the vendor, like give us the vendor, because at the end of the day, even if I give you the same information, the same recipe, the same sauce, you're going to sell it differently. Your tone is going to be differently. Your branding is going to be different. So it doesn't matter whether you have my recipe, your success is going to be different.
Can you tell us some success stories from the bakery? Some successful link-ups? Just give us a couple of examples.
Absolutely.
Taking notes.
I mean, we've just had so many people, like Good American came there and did their casting call, and so many girls flew in from all over the world, and they actually got picked to do the Good American campaign.
Oh, Barreline. I saw my girl Barreline did some products with Good American and sent some over.
Absolutely, yes. We've had Monique from Mael Organics. She's came and literally infiltrated our whole photography studio for her marketing, her new up-and-coming marketing campaign. And then we've literally had, I mean, I don't want to mention names, but a lot of celebrities. I think celebrities come and they are like, I've been a celebrity all of this time, but I've never had a business. Can you show me how to do that?
Yeah.
So I've literally helped so many celebrities. I mean, one that speaks about it openly is Tamar Braxton. She never had a business, and I helped her create a business. I've worked with so many just normal girls that's like, man, I need more, you know? And so, like, if you look on Girl Mob, if you look in the bakery, you'll see all of our success stories.
When we hear these stories about like communities like that, tell people exactly what you do, and that it doesn't always, I know you work with celebrities, you were with Miley Cyrus for a year, whole 9 yards, but can small businesses and people work with you, and how do they do it?
Absolutely. So we have 3 different ways that you can work with me and work with my products. One is Girl Mob. This is a digital community for female entrepreneurs. You can literally tap in your phone. It's an app. There's over 90 courses, ebooks, and it's only like $49.99, right? So you can go on meetups, you can go trips, you can literally find my whole thing about female entrepreneurship is you need to find your place and you need to find your people. There is a place for you to be supported in everything that you need to do. Then you need to find your people that will help you scale whatever it is you need to do, as far as marketing or social media management or media or whatever it may be. So it's Girl Mob. Then a lot of people have now built the business and they need marketing, they need branding, they need that website set up. So then we have the Icing Agency, which is we work with clients from small clients to Coca-Cola to larger clients as well. And we do marketing full scale. So one of the clients I'm working with right now is Country Wayne. We're pushing his movie Strange Love.
Yeah, and I see he has a Netflix special coming out. He just announced. I love Country Wayne.
Yeah, so we just got his movie to number 10 on Amazon.
I saw it. They were saying that for a black, like that's like the biggest black movie on there.
Yes, absolutely.
I hate to call things a black movie, but
seriously. And we have to support
We
black
do.
productions. You know, like my company did everything. The media run, we did the website, we did his social media, we're doing all of their campaigns, their press tour, we're doing it all. So for them to be number 10 on Amazon,
That's great.
I'm
but the
super
little
excited.
guy can also work, the little woman.
The little guy.
woman.
Like you can literally
Little
go to
person.
the icingagency.com and we have packages for $300, $500. So no matter how big or small your idea is, we want to help you bring it to life. Because I know what it was like to have no money and need someone, and then I think the dream gets smaller when people keep telling you no. Like, no, you can't do this, or oh, you don't have this person, or no, you don't have this. But if you find a company that's willing to teach you everything for as Girl Mob, and then also help you develop it, which is the Icing Agency, and then give you a space for you to build and live out your dreams, which is the bakery, it's no reason that any female entrepreneur should ever feel counted out.
Yeah,
That's a big shift for female entrepreneurs because particularly black female entrepreneurs, if you ask a black woman to start a business, the first thing she's going to do is start trying to do it herself. If you ask a man to start a business, the first thing he's going to do is look around and ask for people to help them.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that, like entrepreneurship for black women.
Yeah.
We are making history by being the largest number of entrepreneurs, but what are some lessons you think we still need to learn?
I think, one, we need to learn how to brand ourselves. I think that black women are already so creative and we're like, I want a new hairstyle, I want a new outfit, but there is a certain branding mechanism, and like, who are you trying to sell to? Who are you trying
avatar.
to be? Yeah, who is your customer avatar? Who is that girl that you want to be? Because honestly, branding, you're not selling you're not selling your business. You're selling yourself. You're selling the need for your product, and you're solving their problem. So a lot of people were just like, oh, you want to buy my lotion? It's like, no, you're solving their problem. Is it a mom that is all breastfeeding,
Right.
and like figure
Does
out
he
what
have
the
eczema?
need
Just skin and
exactly.
extremely dry? Do you break out from fragrance, whatever?
Yeah, I think that's the first thing, is not understanding branding in its entirety. And then marketing. I hear so many people like, I'm posting on Instagram and it's not working. And then it's like, well, you're not understanding the branding of who you're actually talking to. I think when people post on Instagram, they're just posting to a world of people instead of thinking about the one person that is going to watch this video and understand that, wow, it resonated with me. And there's thousands of people out there that it also will resonate. That same girl, it's thousands of those girls, but just talk to that one girl. And then I think the next thing would be obviously community, finding other people that are having the same problems as you, so then you don't feel all alone. Because like I think even last year, there was a time actually when I lost my company. Let's talk about that. When I lost my company, I was on an airbed above my retail store. I'm still driving a G-Wagon. I'm still trying to hold my life together, but I'm focusing on building my business back. And I remember the day that I wanted to give up, and I called my business bestie who's in the room, but I called my business bestie and she was like, girl, if you built $1 million business, build another one.
Right.
And like that shifted my mindset, because I was like, help me redo this resume. I got to get a job. I don't know what I'm about to do. And she's like, if you build $1 million business, build another one. So sometimes having a community of people that is going to tell you, if you've done it before, do that. Like, what were you successful doing last month? Do that again. Because as entrepreneurs, we get so creative and we're like, no, let's try this, let's try that. No, just keep doing what was working originally, and then keep evolving your marketing plan or your branding to reach that new customer that you're trying to reach. But having a community is so important.
Yeah, because even when you first started, you talked about how lonely it is to be a Black woman entrepreneur. And sometimes it's our own fault for not asking for help.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard, even for me, to do that. Like, you don't want to seem like, I don't want this person to think I'm begging for something.
Yeah.
And we also have this expectation that people, like our friends and family, are going to support us, and you can't rely on that to have a successful business ever. You need other people to want to support your business.
I even noticed that recently, when I did need help, like earlier this year, and I'm like, oh my God, we're going on a new shift. I'm going to raising capital. That is so new to me. And the reason why I'm raising capital is not because I want the money or I need the money. It's because I want to show another minority girl that haven't been blessed to be able to build multi-million-dollar businesses that they can raise capital and scale their business as well. Because minority women getting capital is less than 2%. So I want to show people that you can do it. But when I was in a funk last year, and I was like, oh my God, like, how do I do this? Where do I start? And I was asking my friends, I'm like, I need your help. Give me feedback. They were like, girl, you got it. You're good. You're so strong.
Doesn't
You're
feel
amazing.
like that sometimes.
And I'm like, wait, I had to literally say to my team and to the people around me, actually, I don't have it.
Right. I
actually need you. Like, I know that you know that I'm strong. I know that you know that I've scaled this. But there are some times that we talk ourselves out of our next level of greatness. And I need you guys to speak to me in this time. And they understood, like, oh, okay, we can't just be like, girl, you got it. And they actually gave me good feedback. So sometimes it's just vocalizing that.
Right.
There's not a Black woman in the world, I don't think not a woman in the world, who doesn't fight with imposter syndrome.
Oh, for
no
sure.
No matter how successful or not you are. And I remember listening to Angela a couple of months ago probably say in an interview that she now has the confidence that she can there's something she will always be able to do.
Yes.
And confidence is such a big issue. And I think people also it's not going to always feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's especially when you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you have to be more interested in your response than your reaction.
Absolutely. I think for me, I launched a new podcast called The Secret Recipe, and I was in a room the other day, and they were like, oh, and the guy walked up to me and was like, hey, oh my God, what do you do? And we were talking, and I was like, what do you do? He was like, oh, I'm the founder of Priceline. And my mind was like blown, because I was like, we got here.
The founder of Priceline?
Yes.
He said the funniest thing. I was at a conference with him, and he said the year he started Priceline, he made a New Year's resolution for 1 year to say yes.
Wow.
To everything. And Priceline wasn't even an idea then. And in that year that he said, just made that resolution to say yes, his whole life changed, including he created Priceline.
Wow. And it was so crazy to me, because it's like the imposter syndrome of like, wait, I booked my flights to get to Vegas on Priceline, and now I'm standing in front of the founder.
Yeah.
How does this even work? You know?
I saw you post that.
Yeah, like, and it's so funny, because like my colleagues, they'll be like, no, you should say no. I'm saying what it really is. Like, I booked my flights to get here, and now I'm standing in front of front of the founder, and like he literally is like, oh, here's my number. So a part of that imposter syndrome is like, do I deserve to be here? Do I deserve to be in this room? And then how am I showing up in this room and making sure that people are understanding the value of my presence in this room, you know?
Right. And it's important for us to know what is valuable to us. Like, people told me not to leave the Breakfast Club. That's such a dumb thing to do. You guys are doing so well. But I had an opportunity to start my own show. And why wouldn't I? Yeah. And I also do like challenging myself.
Yes.
And so it is a challenge because it's all brand new. It hasn't even been a month yet. But I look forward to it because sometimes I feel like I can get really... When I feel too comfortable in a situation, I feel like it's time for me to just do something more.
Yes.
So,
and I think that when you are finally at the ledge of the cliff and you jump off, you have no choice but to soar.
Right.
You're not going to just, I think people don't jump off the ledge to hit that success because they're scared. Like, my mindset is jump off the ledge, build a team that's going to plan the land. Like, if I'm in the air, I'm not landing in 1 second. Like, it's going to take years for me to land. So if I'm strategizing while I'm in the air, okay, you're soaring, build a team that will strategize your landing. And so that's exactly what you're doing.
And that's also like putting yourself in a situation where you're in the corner and you have to fight to get out of the corner.
Yes.
And you don't have a choice. And sometimes you have to put yourself in that situation because that's how you'll really soar. When you put yourself there and you're like, okay, I have to make this happen. And you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, how can people meet you, find you, sign up? What is it? What can we do?
Yes, absolutely. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, Miss MZSKITTLEZ, Skittlez. And then you can shop or come see the bakery. I'm inviting you guys all. If you're in Atlanta, stop by. Tell them I sent you. You'll have a free day pass on Angela.
I'm going to be like, Miss Skittlez sent
yes,
me.
I'll set it up. Just mention Angela Yee or mention Way Up and you'll get a free day pass. thebakerycowork.com. And then girlmob, GURLMOBB.com. You can find us anywhere, but just check us out on Instagram.
And these are online communities,
yes,
too.
Yes, online communities anywhere in the world.
I'm like, Angela Yee sent me.
Yes.
Get my day pass.
Yes, come. You can shoot your podcast there. We have a podcast studio.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Conference room.
Listen, me and Country Wayne are going to do a couple of things together, so maybe that's a good idea.
Yes, Country loves it. Like, he's always there. Mm-hmm. We did his press run there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll have to do a Wealth Wednesday on your Women Win Wednesdays, for sure.
Absolutely. Whatever you guys need, I'm definitely here. Our motto at the bakery is dreams are baked here. So whatever you want your dreams to be, come bake them at the bakery.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
6'2" and
hey, we can help you on that.
Mano's here in the corner, and he already is like, I know there's going to be a lot of women there, so.
He's like, I'm going to just hang out.
He loves entrepreneurs.
I know, being so quiet over there, right?
Well, thank you so much. We do appreciate you for coming by for Wealth Wednesday.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me, and I can't wait to see you guys at the bakery.
Happy Women's History Month, ladies.